Alright, just gonna keep going here. Guard primer.
The guard primer represents the strength of your guard.
Okay.
It is reflected with the number of bullet-shaped icons at the top of the screen. Blocking certain attacks will expend a guard primer. Should you expend all of your guard primers, your character will experience a condition known as guard crush. Additionally, you may experience a condition known as humiliation.
Oh wait, is that for real?
If you use a green break burst, which will be discussed later, your maximum number of guard primers will be reduced by half.
Sorry guys, I'm gonna turn on my heater, so if you hear a noise, that's what it is. I'm gonna do my best to drown it out. But, yeah. Yeah. Alright, so...
A guard crush will make you temporarily defenseless, which puts you in a very dangerous position indeed. Do not let it happen to you, or you will regret it a great deal. When you are down to your last guard primer, it is possible to use a barrier guard to avoid entering the guard crush state. Doing so will dramatically reduce your barrier gauge, however.
Okay.
Of course, if you can inflict guard crush on your opponent, they will also be defenseless. Should this happen, take full advantage of their weakness and grind them beneath your heel.
Whoa.
First, attempt to reduce your opponent's number of guard primers until they enter the guard crush state.
Okay. In Ragnar's case, the best way to remove your opponent's guard primers with his dead spike. Or you can use his crouching drive attack as well.
3, 2, 1, action!
Damn.
I won't! Dead spike!
Yeah.
Excellent!
Depleted guard primers will recover over time. When a guard primer is nearing restoration, it will begin to flash.
Okay.
However, should an additional guard primer be lost before a flashing one is restored, the flashing guard primer will not be restored.
Ooh. Because the green break burst decreases your maximum amount of guard primers, you cannot recover them until the round is over. Be careful about that. Reducing your opponent's guard primers will not only lead to a guard crush, but can also force your opponent to deplete his barrier guard or take more drastic measures to avoid your attacks. Wow. Burst icon.
The burst icon is located under the health gauge and indicates whether or not you can use the break burst or astral heat.
Okay.
Each time you use either one of them, a burst icon will be consumed.
Okay.
One burst icon will be given to each player at the start of the first round. Also, the first time a player loses a round, they are given another burst icon. In other words, regardless of the number of rounds required to win a match, the maximum number of burst icons a player can possess at any time will always be 2.
Okay.
Excellent!
Sounds good. Break
The
burst.
break burst technique makes one invulnerable and creates a shockwave that throws one's opponent away. It will consume one aforementioned burst icon, which is located beneath the health gauge.
Where?
There are
that it?
2 types of break bursts.
That's barrier.
One is used when one is guarding or being hit, and the other is used when one is not. The gold break burst will send one's opponent flying into the air. It is possible to follow this up with an attack against one's opponent. I find it rather enjoyable to watch my enemies tossed around the stage, helpless against my onslaught.
Damn. Is she a playable character? That'd be cool. I kinda wanna play her. The benefits of a gold break burst don't stop there. Because you are completely invulnerable to the moment it is unleashed, you are safe from your opponent's attack. Wow. Even if your opponent blocks it, you'll still be able to make a first move allowing to continue attacking your opponent. Certain situations are especially good to use this move, such as performing an aerial or neutral roll.
First, why don't you show me your gold break burst?
Let's do it.
3, 2, 1,
Action!
action!
Okay. Alright, let's do it. Alright. Woo!
Burst!
Excellent!
Damn.
Next up is the green break burst. Activating this move will throw out a green shockwave. If your opponent is hit by it, then they will be thrown away from you. This is one way to prevent a cocky opponent from becoming too sure of themselves.
Oh, so basically this is to prevent anyone from feeling themselves.
Since
Okay.
this move can be used while one is being hit by one's opponent, it is useful as an emergency evasive technique. However, since it deals no damage to one's opponent, it is not very effective as an attack technique.
Okay.
Additionally, there is something you should be aware of, although I believe I have mentioned it before. Using the green break burst will reduce your maximum guard primers by 1/2. Do try and remember that.
Oh,
Since
okay.
using a green break burst twice in one round would drastically reduce the number of guard primers available, it is often best to avoid using 2 green break bursts if possible.
Okay.
I know it will be unpleasant, but the unwashed ninja is about to attack you.
Man, why is he calling him like
Please attempt
unwashed,
to use a
sweaty,
green break
stinky?
burst on him.
Bleh. She doesn't like him at all,
3,
does
2,
she?
1, action!
What we got? Try green break burst while guarding or being hit.
Burst! No!
Okay.
You guys no regrets.
So at the cost of 2
Lesson
break
clear.
green break barrier breaks or something. Okay. Be careful when using your green break burst. If your opponent is able to predict it, they may be able to block it and then attack you. So try to use the green break burst when your opponent won't be able to predict it. So that is like a get off me move, but that comes at the cost of 2 break primers. I think they're called. Yeah, I think so. Now these break primers, I'm guessing cannot be recovered because if you look at Ragnar's bar, it doesn't recover. Like, is the microphone okay? Yeah, it is. Anyways, it will not recover. Like, it's gone. They're gone for until the next round. So gotta be careful with that. I might not want to use that too much. Also, since break burst can only be used up to 2 times in one match, you need to be careful about when to use it. Use once. It's a waste to use them on something small, but it's also a waste not to use them at all. It's recommended that you come up with your own rules for using break burst. For example, you can choose to use 1 green break burst per round or save both to use in a single round. That's a good plan. Next lesson. Part 2, Danger State.
When your barrier gauge drops to 0, you will enter the danger state. When you are in the danger state, all damage you receive is multiplied by 1.5. The danger state lasts until more than half of your barrier gauge is restored.
Huh. Wow.
Excellent!
Negative state.
Should you repeatedly perform passive actions, such as backsteps or backward jumps, a warning message will appear on the screen that says, "Negative warning."
Yeah, I had that already. What
If
is
you
that?
continue this cowardly behavior, then your character will find themselves surrounded by a reddish aura, an indicator that they have entered the negative state. As with the danger state, the negative state will cause all damage done to you to be multiplied by up to 2 times.
Yo! Holy crap, man. So does that mean there's no zoning at all in this game?
The negative state will be nullified as soon as you begin showing some aggression, dashing toward your opponent, for instance. The danger state and the negative state can occur at the same time. Should this happen, you will take up to 3 times as much damage as you normally would. It is rare, yes, but very, very bad.
Wow. Please note that this can change depending on the circumstances.
Excellent!
Dude, man. Holy crap.
I shall now teach you how to determine the number of times you have hit your opponent during a combo. If you intend to accomplish anything with your combos, I suggest you listen closely.
Okay.
The large number is how many times your combo has hit your opponent. If this combo cannot be escaped from, then this number will appear in red.
Okay.
If, however, it would be possible for your opponent to escape, the hit counter will instead be blue.
Huh.
Put in words that you might understand. Red indicates combos that cannot be escaped from, while blue indicates combos that can be escaped from, regardless of whether or not your opponent did so. The number under the hit count indicates where in the combo escape was possible. For example, If the hit count is 6 and the number below is 5, it means the combo could have been escaped after the 5th hit landed, but before the 6th hit landed.
Okay.
The 3 most recent escape points will be recorded. In other words, once the 4th escape point appears, the 1st will be deleted. Use this information to ensure that your combos have as few escape points as possible. This will allow you to deal far more damage.
The 3 most recent escape points will be recorded. In other words, once the 4th escape point appears, the 1st will be deleted. Use this information to ensure that your combos work.
This number is particularly useful when learning combos that do not let your opponent escape. Finally, the number at the very bottom indicates the amount of damage you have dealt to your opponent. As you learn more combos, pay special attention.
Okay.
No regrets. Loser.
Damn,
Lesson
dude.
clear.
I didn't know that. Counter.
If you should manage to hit an opponent while they are in the middle of an attack of their own, or while they are recovering from certain techniques, a counter hit will occur.
Yeah.
Counterattacks have different stun periods or knockback distances than their normal counterparts. With counter hits, you can execute combos you would normally be unable to do.
Okay, yeah, I know that.
In Ragnar's case, when he counter hits an enemy attack with Hell's Fang or his crouching D, he can continue the combo by dashing and then performing a standing B attack.
Okay,
Now, why don't you try continuing your combo from a counter?
I'll do that.
3, 2,
Wow, crazy, man.
action.
Counter hit.
Counter! 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 Counter!
Wow, dude.
I can hardly wait.
Get you out of here.
Noon.
Basically, go like that.
Counter!
I don't really even need to do it. Dash, standing.
Counter! Counter! Counter!
Whoa, that's another one that I did not know about. Is there another one that I don't know about? Wow, that's crazy, dude. It's pretty cool, man.
Excellent!
Counter hits make it possible to perform more powerful combos or perform normal combos with greater ease.
Okay.
If you wish to improve your skills even more, I would recommend that you learn to plan your counter hits to lead into appropriate combos.
Basically, frame traps. Set up your frame
Try
traps.
and master the use of attacks that cause different effects on a counter hit, and learn which attacks can be used to follow up when a counter hit occurs. A fatal counter
Okay.
is a type of counter hit that is even more devastating than a normal counter hit. When your opponent is hit by a fatal counter hit, all attacks that follow in that combo will stun your opponent for slightly longer than usual.
Whoa.
This allows you to perform certain advanced combos that are only possible after a fatal counter hit.
Huh.
Each character has 1 or 2 attacks that can cause fatal counter hits. The conditions for a fatal counter hit are the same as a normal counter hit, apart from the fact that they are triggered by different attacks.
Okay.
In Ragnar's case, his crouching C causes a fatal counter hit when he counters an attack with it.
Okay.
Why don't you try performing a combo immediately after a fatal counter hit? Remember, the only way to connect multiple standing D attacks in a row is to perform a fatal counter hit at the start of the combo.
Okay.
3, 2, 1,
Alright then.
action!
So, let's see here. Crouching C.
Noon.
Dash cancel into, I'm pretty sure this is corner. So let's see. Crouching down.
Noon.
That's not it.
Counter!
Dang it.
Gimme. Gimme.
Nope.
Gimme. Noon.
I gotta do them fast. Oh, I did too. Dang it. Huh.
Gimme.
The last one's a little late.
Counter!
Gimme! Noon!
I don't want.
I won't!
I want to.
Counter!
I gotta really time it, huh?
Noon!
Dang it! I was getting it.
Noon! Noon!
Come on.
Noon!
What the heck?
Counter!
Guess I got.
Gimme!
Counter!
Gimme!
Can I just do it like?
Noon!
No, I can't.
Noon!
What?
Noon!
Dang it.
Noon!
Huh?
Noon! Noon! Noon!
Dang it. Okay.
Counter!
Gimme! Noon! Gimme! I won't! Noon!
Huh?
Noon!
Yeah, this one's a little difficult.
Noon!
I can do it.
Noon! Noon!
Just gotta focus on the timing.
Counter!
Gimme! Noon! Noon!
Oh, I almost had it. I almost had it.
Noon! Noon!
Maybe I can just get out of the corner.
Noon!
Yeah, that's why, huh? The corner.
Excellent!
That's why. I gotcha. Combos that are performed from fatal counters have potentially to be far more powerful than combos without one. Since a fatal counter hit allows you to combo together attacks, including special attacks, that you would not normally be able to use in a combo, be sure to thoroughly explore your options in training mode. It will be worth the time and effort. Tell me about it. Throw
A
counters.
throw counter is a counter that is a throw. As with other counters, it occurs when you hit your opponent during their attack. With a throw counter, you hit them with a throw to interrupt their attack, or as they are recovering from certain techniques.
Okay.
The throw counter is more or less identical to a normal throw, with the important exception that one cannot use the throw escape to get out of the throw. Since throws can often lead to massive damage, you would do well to use throw counters whenever the situation allows for them.
Okay.
It is impossible to use a break burst after being hit by a throw. So this is one way in which you can guarantee that you will deal damage to your opponent. Surely you understand by now? Let us simulate a situation in which a throw counter would occur. The vulgar ninja will attack you with his standing D. Attack him with a throw before he can hit you.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, action!
I can hardly wait. Ready?
I don't know if that works or not.
Ready?
Awesome.
It is best to attempt a throw counter when you have the advantage in close combat, or after you have blocked an attack with a very long recovery animation, such as Ragnar's Inferno Divider.
What's that?
If
Throw,
a
reject,
throw
miss.
escape is incorrectly attempted, then it becomes impossible for the victim to escape the throw. This is known as a throw, reject, miss.
Okay.
If you wish to force your opponent in the throw, reject, miss, it is best to trick them into attempting a throw escape at the wrong time by delaying the timing of your throw. It is easiest to force your opponent into a throw, reject, miss by throwing them when they are pressing other buttons, such as after an opponent blocks a jumping attack, or you hit with your standing or crouching A, or even when your opponent attempts an aerial roll.
Okay.
Why don't you try it for yourself? Go ahead and try using a throw immediately after a standing A attack.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, action!
Let's try this.
What? Ready? No!
Huh.
No regrets.
Interesting.
Lesson clear!
Throw, reject, miss. While it might sound hard to force a throw, reject, miss, it is a very effective technique when used against advanced players that are more experienced at defending. One of its advantages that is a relatively low risk maneuver. Even if your opponent succeeds in avoiding the throw, reject, miss and successfully uses a throw escape, you are safe from retaliation. This tactic can also tell you how your opponent thinks. If a throw reject miss occurs, then they may tend to rely on instinct to avoid throws. However, if the throw reject miss does not occur, they may rely instead of reflex to However, if a throw reject miss does not occur, they may rely instead on reflexes to avoid throws. Okay. Never overlook the information that can be gained while fighting your opponent. Do your best and try and study the defense patterns. Sweet. Let's carry on, man. We're getting the hang of this. We're almost there. We're almost done with the intermediate. We're gonna go to advanced. So we'll see what happens.